There's a way of titling YouTube videos that is absolutely breaking the YouTube algorithm right now and exploding large channels, small channels, medium channels. It's just exploding every single channel that is using this titling strategy that I'm about to reveal to you in this video. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Justin. I make about $60K a month or so from the YouTube platform, and I've helped dozens and dozens of other people do the same thing. But I know you're going to need more proof than just that. So let me show you a few of my channels really quick, just so that you know that I know what I'm talking about. Here is channel number 1. Channel number 2, channel number 3. And I feel like you get the picture at this point. You shouldn't need much more proof. And if you do, go check out some of my other content afterwards where I show you just tons and tons of proof. But hopefully you have a baseline belief that I know what I'm talking about, because in this video, I'm going to show you something that is absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to this titling strategy that people are using that is breaking the YouTube platform. It's actually crazy what people are doing, and I'm going to show you how to do it yourself in this video. So the reason why I even came to this conclusion, why I even found out that this was happening, is because I coach a lot of people on YouTube. I see a lot of channels. I run a lot of channels myself. So I experience these things myself. And this is just how the YouTube game goes, right? You can take a look at the whiteboard here. This is how it goes. So you're going to be doing pretty well when you start out, and then you're going to have a down period at some point. No matter how good you are, everybody has down periods. Everybody has down trends, and it hurts a whole lot more whenever you're having a really good month and you're seeing the numbers go up. You hit your first 10K month, whatever. I see this with my clients all the time. They'll hit their first 10K month. They're on top of the world. And then the next month, you start to see a little bit of drop off. And the worst feeling ever is when the numbers are super high and you're watching them in real time drop down. That's just how YouTube goes at times. The worst thing that you can do, and the thing that most people do whenever they're experiencing this downtrend, is they start to what I call white knuckle. And that's what this, this little picture here is representing. When you squeeze super hard on something because you found something that you really like, you have something that you really value. You're making 10K a month from YouTube, you're making 5K a month, whatever. You quit your job to go full time, and then you see a little bit of drop off. And it's so hard when you're on the inside of the channel to take this advice. But just know right now, if you're in a great period right now, a down period is going to come. The worst thing that you could possibly do is white knuckle, because what happens when you squeeze onto something super tight that you value a whole lot? You lose the thing. It slips out of your hands. You're going to squeeze it out of your hands. Happens every single time. So what I see a lot of people try to do is they try really hard on their titles. They try really hard on their thumbnails to make it the most outstanding, the most polarizing, the craziest buzzwords they could possibly use in their titles. And what does that do? That puts off the audience. Because why? You're trying too hard. You seem really desperate to get them. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here in 1 second. But I actually came to this conclusion while I was rereading the 48 Laws of Power. I love this book a lot because it's not, it's a lot of manipulation rules and stuff like that, but I like to read it to know when I'm being manipulated. But what I found is that there's one certain word that helps a lot when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to this titling strategy for YouTube, that repeats over and over again throughout the 48 Laws of Power. Let me give you just a quick rundown. I'll be super fast, and then we're going to get into the actual strategy here. Law number 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. This law directly addresses aloofness. Okay, repeat that word. That word is going to come up over and over again. Aloofness, by suggesting that withdrawing at key moments can enhance your value and influence. Law number 17, keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. This law emphasizes the importance of being unpredictable, which can create aloof aura and keep others on their toes. Notice how both of these, they mention the word aloof, which means like distant. You're not always available. You're not trying too hard to be liked or to get whatever outcome that you want to get. Law 27, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. And while it primarily focuses on creating a following, it implies that maintaining some distance can enhance your enigmatic appeal. Once again, aloofness. Once again, keeping your distance, not trying too hard to be liked. You get the pattern here. Law 48, this is the last one we'll go over, assume formlessness. This law advocates for adaptability and ambiguity, which can foster a sense of aloofness, once again, and make it difficult for others to pin you down. So don't let anybody pin you down. Don't try too hard to appeal to one side of things. Just be your own person and assume formlessness. Don't be too direct. Don't be too, once again, you get the picture. Be aloof. Aloofness is attractive. Repeat that to yourself. Write that down. Aloofness is attractive. One more thing before we get into the actual strategy, just so you fully understand what it is that we're going to be talking about here. Banner blindness is something that a lot of people aren't really aware of, but it's very, very prevalent on YouTube. And if you can understand that banner blindness is very prevalent across the entire YouTube platform, it's going to not only allow you to use this titling strategy that people are using to break the algorithm, but it's also going to allow you to dominate whatever niche that you're in, because you're going to be able to be different immediately. And what banner blindness is, just really quick summary. If you go to web pages, and studies have shown this is not just me saying this is Harvard studies and Yale studies have shown, the banners on the outside of web pages, where the ads are, where the menus are, whatever, they're only seen by about 30% of eyeballs that ever enter the web page. So that means that 70% of people who enter those web pages, their subconscious mind already knows, I don't even want to look at the banners because there's nothing there for me. The same thing is happening right now on the YouTube platform. Here's what I mean by that. If everybody has access to the highest level editing in one way or another, whether you're paying for it yourself because you have expendable income, or you just able to, you have the time, you don't have the money, but you're able to go watch YouTube tutorials on how to edit like a pro. That means everybody has access to this editing, right? If everybody is editing like an absolute pro, if everybody's doing Mr. Beast style editing, eventually people become blind to it. People start to develop that banner blindness to this super hyper, level editing. So now channels like Ali Abdaal, channels like Sam Sulek, channels like Moist Critical, they're starting to pop off. Why? Because they are directly opposing what people have banner blindness to, which is creating the opposite effect of banner blindness. They stand out a lot while everybody else is trying to make the best, the highest retention tactics that they could possibly use. They are just doing raw, unedited, basically videos, kind of like this one, that just completely stand out from the crowd, just completely stand out. Because everybody else is doing the hyper edited stuff. You get the picture. They're developing banner blindness to this hyper edited stuff, to the top tier thumbnails. Because once again, if you don't know how to make thumbnails, you can just watch a quick YouTube tutorial on how to do it. You're not going to understand the psychology and everything behind it, but you can get the crazy effects that the top tier guys get, or you can just go hire somebody else to do it and get those effects. You're not going to understand the psychology, but you're still going to be banner blinded by these thumbnails because everybody has access to them. So how do we use this in order to create these titles that they're not possible to not click on them? People are using these titles on their YouTube channels to break the YouTube algorithm. So we have titles like The Quartering Views here, or like Black Conservative Perspective on the right. These are two channels that get a lot of views. Some people title like them. Kamala Harris has worst day yet. Hurricane Helene photo op blasted. So this is trying very hard. It's borderline desperate trying to get people to click on the video. This is exactly what we shouldn't do. This is exactly what happens, right? Whenever your views start to slip, you start to make titles like this where it's like, please click my video, please, please, please. And also a compounding effect of everybody trying to make the most polarizing, the most out there, the craziest buzzwords titles. Every day you're having to one up yourself and one up everybody else. So they just get more and more insane. They get more and more desperate feeling. Once again, aloofness is attractive. Remember back to the 48 laws of power that we were just talking about. Aloofness is attractive. This is the opposite of aloof. This is not distant and not really caring much if you click. It's like, an aloof title would be like, here is a really cool video. Take it or leave it. I don't care. This one is like, here's a video that I posted. Please, please, please click. Please click. This is the best thing ever. I promise. Please click. And the same thing goes, and I really respect this guy a lot, but I just wanted to use him as an example for Black Conservative Perspective. Charlemagne shocked after watching devastating Trump campaign ad. It's just, it's the product of trying to one up yourself, one up everybody else in your space, one up everybody else on the YouTube platform, and it just comes across as desperate. So what is breaking the YouTube algorithm is combating this desperation and the banner blindness to this desperation and this hyper polarized thumbnail stuff or title stuff with titles like this guy, with titles like Moist Critical, who just had a video that said 3 days ago, the title is I Had to Investigate. And it has 1.5 million views in 3 days. And you would think that it would just be the case that, oh, he's just the type of guy that his channel is so big that he can just post whatever he wants, right? And it'll just grow because he's so big. But then you have guys like Sam Sulek, who came out of nowhere, who is doing the same thing. And he's just coming out of nowhere, getting millions and millions of views. He has 3 million subscribers on YouTube in like a year. It's insane. And there's so many people using this exact strategy. I have tested it myself on those channels that I showed you in the very beginning of the video. I'm testing this myself in different niches, and it is working like an absolute charm. I was kind of hesitant to make this video because, you know, the cycle always goes where eventually everybody's going to be doing these aloof titles, and then it's not really going to be there's going to be banner blindness developed for that, and then it's going to have to go back to the, you know, the desperation type titles because the banner blindness is going to be around the aloof titles. But as of right now, this is like a blue ocean. This is wide open. If you're able to use this in whatever niche that you're in, it's going to work like an absolute charm. Now, you still want to follow the rules that I tell you on the other videos of keeping your keywords in there. Make sure that you put keywords in your titles and your and your descriptions and everything like that. Don't just not try on your titles at all. Just make them more aloof to where it's not like, please, please, please click my video. It's more like, yeah, here's bulk day 106 back at Gold's Gym. You know, and that's so attractive. Like, just think about, like, you know how men will always say, like, whenever you act like you actually like a girl, she doesn't really like you back that often. But if you're just kind of aloof and you're distant and you're hot and you're cold, that's when girls actually like you, right? That's not just with women. That's with just life, people in general, human psychology. Whenever you feel like a video is desperate for you to click on, you're not going to click on that video. You're much less likely to click on it. But if you feel like a video is like, hey, here's a really cool video, and by the way, like, I don't really care if you click on it, but I just wanted to let you know, here's a cool video that I posted. That's a whole lot more attractive to somebody. And I've noticed that on this channel, which this channel is not really designed to get a ton of views. It's designed to reach the right people that I'm actually trying to talk to, the people who are, you know, it's an education channel. Of course, it's not going to go super viral. But I've noticed that even with this small channel and the other channels that I just showed you in the very beginning of this video, but even with this one, when I make titles that are much more aloof, much more like not trying hard to get views, basically, like not super try hard, not desperate for views, the views go up. It's crazy how that works, right? That and this works with everything. This is consistent across so many different mediums where rich people will always say, and I've experienced this myself, whenever you have a lot of money, you make more money. When you don't need money, you make more money. That's just how it works. When you don't need YouTube views, you get more views. It just feels like you can't miss. Your wrist never hurts when the ball's going in, right? Whenever you can create this illusion that you don't want people's views, you're not desperate for their views, but you posted a cool video, so you might as well click. That's what people are using to absolutely break the YouTube algorithm. And I've figured this out because I had a down period recently with one of my channels. And I noticed that I was just trying so hard. Like, I was sitting there and I was spending more time on the titles than I've ever spent before. And I was like, why can I not get this CTR up? Why? I want to hit 100K month like right now. I was trying so hard to hit that 100K month. And then the last month or so, I was like, you know what? I don't need 100K month right now. I'm playing for the long game. I'm playing for the bigger picture. And it allowed me to zoom out, chill out, and make more aloof titles. And guess what happened this month? Record month. So I'm telling you right now, if you start making these more aloof titles, aloofness is attractive. Repeat that to yourself. Stop trying so damn hard on your titles to get people to click, because the harder you try to get them to click, the more desperate you are, the less likely they are to click the video. And that's just human psychology. This is just facts. Hopefully this video helped you out. Hopefully this made you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Make titles not as aloof as this one, where it's just like I had to investigate. Use some keywords still, but use the buzzwords and stuff sparingly. Use the capitalization, hypercapitalization of everything sparingly. Don't be desperate in your titles anymore. Be more aloof. Make titles like this and just try it out. I promise you, it will work for you like an absolute charm. I promise you this will blow up your channel if you do it the right way. Let me know in the comments if this video did end up helping you out. If it did, please leave a like, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.